Walt Disney World is an amazing place to spend a holiday, but the cost of your trip can soon spiral out of control if you're not careful. If you have limited time and want to make sure you get to experience all of the best rides, shows and attractions, it may be tempting to pay for lightning lanes every day, but this can quickly become very expensive. Lightning lanes are passes that cost you extra money on top of the money you've already paid for your ticket to get into Walt Disney World. Essentially, lightning lanes allow you to jump the queue on 3 rides in one day at one of the 4 parks, meaning you can get around a park quicker and fit more rides into that day. Sounds great in theory, but this comes at a price. Costs vary, but a Lightning Lane multipass can set you back between $20 to $30 per person. If you have a group of 4 people, that's an additional $80 to $120 a day just to get quicker access to 3 rides. If you add that up over the length of your vacation, it's like paying for an extra holiday. However, you can avoid using lightning lanes at Walt Disney World if you follow these 6 tips, and make sure you stick around for tip number 6, which is really useful to know if you haven't been to Florida before. Number 1. Stay in the bubble. The bubble is what people call staying in one of the many hotels that are actually within Walt Disney World. There may be cheaper hotels or accommodation available outside of the park, but staying inside the bubble has one huge bonus. As a hotel guest, you get an extra 30 minutes in the parks before they open to everyone else. Those 30 minutes are the quietest that you will see the parks most days, and mean you can tick some of the biggest rides off your list before the park has properly opened. Number 2. Get up and out. This is very much linked to tip number 1. Making the most of the parks before everyone else arrives means you're going to need to set your alarm, get out of bed and jump on one of the first transports to the parks. If you're staying at one of the cheapest Walt Disney World hotels, which are the All Stars Resorts hotels, you're going to be travelling the furthest distance from the hotel to the park. But you'll be glad to hear that the buses are free, they are on time and regular, which, as we come from England, is something that we're really not used to. And the journey times are short. The biggest distance is between All Stars Resort and Magic Kingdom, and that comes in under 20 minutes. Pretty good. Number 3. Plan your first ride. There are some rides at Walt Disney World that nearly always have long queue times. These include Slinky Dog Dash, Rise of the Resistance, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Frozen Ever After, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and Jungle Cruise, to name but a few. If you don't want to be waiting in long queues, then choose which of the biggest rides you feel you really can't miss and make that your first ride of the day. If you're in the park before it opens to the general public, you're likely to get through the queue and on the ride before the park actually opens, meaning you're ahead before most people's Disney day has even begun. Number 4. Miss the fireworks. This one might sound a bit controversial, but bear with us. If you have a limited number of days at Disney World, then of course you're going to want to make it a priority to catch at least one of the nighttime spectaculars that take place at Hollywood Studios, Epcot, or our favourite, Magic Kingdom with its awesome light show. However, if your vacation is more than a few days and you've already seen one of the nighttime shows, then use it to your advantage. Once the nighttime shows begin, you'll notice a drastic reduction in the waiting times for rides around the parks. This is a great time to make the most of everyone else being distracted as you jump on all the best rides. Number 5. Stay for longer. Now, this one isn't possible for everyone. You may have only budgeted for a short stay at Walt Disney World, and therefore you may think lightning lanes are worth paying the extra money for to get around everything quickly. But it might be worth doing your sums on this one before you book, to see whether your money would be better invested adding a few more days to your trip rather than rushing around everything using lightning lanes. And now, as promised, our final tip is useful if you've never experienced the weather at Walt Disney World and want to know how to use it to your advantage. Number 6. Be prepared to get wet. This may sound surprising given that Florida is well known for its glorious sunshine, but the rain and thunderstorms come almost like clockwork. Throughout the year, but particularly during the summer months, you can pretty much guarantee that it's going to rain each afternoon. As soon as the rain comes, everyone scatters to find shelter and goes on indoor rides. Now is the time to use a little bit of Mickey magic to get near to the front of the queue for the big rides for free. Download one of the weather apps that cover Florida. We found the WeatherBug app was very reliable, so would definitely recommend that one. Use the features in the app to keep an eye on the storms passing you, and when it's towards the end of the storm, go and stand in the queue for the outdoor ride you want. These rides, such as Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, will be closed during the stormy weather and most people won't want to queue in the rain. But if you're prepared to get a little bit wet, then when the ride reopens, you'll be at the front of the queue. We've done this with a few rides, and for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train it meant we were able to get on the ride in under 5 minutes of it reopening without paying for lightning lane passes because we were near to the front of the queue. Hopefully some of those tips will be useful when you're planning your next adventure at Walt Disney World. Thanks for watching. Please help us out by giving this video a like, subscribe to this channel and ring the bell when you subscribe so that you get notified when more videos like this one come out.